Hey everybody, this is Dave Dugdale, learningvideo.com. So I'm going to do a quick comparison between the Commlite and the Fotodiox adapter for the Canon lens. I know it's Tamron, it's a Canon lens that you'd put on your Alpha 7, like an A7S type of camera. So I'm going to run two different types of tests. One is on reflections, which has been kind of bothering me lately, and the other is focus speed, see if they're any different. So let's go ahead and I'm just going to mount them because some people like to hear how they sound. And again, if you watch my previous one on the Metabones, I've compared this Commlite to the Metabones, and I actually like the Commlite better, and it's actually about a quarter the price. It's about $100. This is the Fotodiox. Let's go ahead and mount that. I don't know, they sound about the same. I'm gonna say maybe this one feels a little bit better going on. And in terms of the back, I'm filming with the A7S, so I can't really record that right now to hear what that sounds like. But let's go ahead and go to the next test, and that would be on reflections. Before I actually test them, I've got my FE prime, 55mm prime on the A7S. And as you can see, this is maybe something might happen to you. Maybe you're like doing an interview shot, and you've got this as a hair light, and you can see even with the native FE lens, you're going to get some lens flares. And you can see how that LED light, which is very directional, is giving us some lens flares going in here, both left and to the bottom. And then when I push it right in the center there, you can see it goes off at a 45-degree angle. All right, this is the Commlite adapter. And as you can see, there's a bit more flaring going on, or as some people would refer to as reflections. As I go down, you can see there's a lot more right here. And this is something you might not even notice when you're doing an interview and you have a hair light just out of frame like that. And you might say, well, that's going to really reduce contrast, especially if somebody's face is right there. So let's say if we put it back right to the corner. I can't see anything going at a 45-degree angle, but definitely to the left and definitely down to the bottom. You can see there's quite a bit. Again, all of these adapters do this. The Metabones, the very expensive Metabones. This is the Commlite, which comes in around $100, which is a very good bargain. So they're all going to do it. Some worse than others. And as you can see, man, if you've got a person you're interviewing and that's your hair light, and you're not noticing that because maybe some of the fill light. Here, let me turn one of the lights on. You might be in a situation where you might not see that as a hair light, and the person's face being right there on the right side of the frame. You might notice it, but it might be so subtle because this light is very directional, and usually your hair light is not pointing towards the camera, but you get the idea. You might not actually notice it. Let's go on to the next adapter. All right, this is the Fotodiox, and let's go ahead. We'll go to the left. You can see it has a bit more on the left than I think the Commlite did. Let's go down to the bottom. And I want to say it has less maybe going down to the bottom than the Commlite did. So this might be better in that direction. Let's put the light right at the corner there. And this is something I wasn't seeing on the Commlite. So if the hair light was just out of frame just like that, you might get some those reflections, or lens flares, or whatever you want to call them, in the corner. So which one's better, which one's worse? That's hard to say because the Commlite had more going on in the bottom, and off to the left. Now, I just published a video today talking about this, comparing these adapters to prime lenses. And one of the things you can do, I think you can put some flocking material inside the adapter, but man, I just really hesitate doing that kind of thing because I'm guessing you have to glue it in there. And if it's a hot Colorado sunny day and that glue drips onto the sensor, then you're kind of screwed. I don't know how you can clean that off, even if you send it into Sony. So again, this is the Fotodiox. Let's move on to some focusing tests. All right, next up is the 55mm, and you can see how fast the Sony 55mm prime is focusing. It's just like what you expect. It's really fast. Boom, boom. Grabs, hold the focus. Fantastic. Now here's the Fotodiox. You're going to see me wave my hand in front of the lens, and that's when I started pressing the shutter halfway down. Sometimes it requires, sometimes it doesn't. And it can be quite slow, and sometimes it just gets awfully confused. Like, it's just taking forever. So here's the Commlite. Let's do it again. I would say, you know, I've watched these both several times. They seem to be about the same. Sometimes they get it. Right here, it didn't get it. And let's do it again. And oh, there it goes. Nope, didn't get it either. It's just be very frustrating trying to autofocus with one of these adapters. So I'd say they're both just as bad. And here's just yet another example of reflections. Going back to the whole reflections issue. It can rear its ugly head in different ways. You can see in the lower right-hand corner, there's a lot of those light coming up from below. You wouldn't even thought was there, and it's causing a lot of, I guess, reflection issues in that lower right-hand corner. So, all in all, I'd say both of these are just about the same as the Metabones. And here again is another example of the Fotodiox. You know, I'd say they're both just as bad in autofocus. They're both just as bad in reflections, and the Metabones is just the same way, but it's worse in terms of price. And here's one last example. You can see you're stepping into a low contrast area right there. That's pretty much it. I'll talk to you guys later.